So here's the thing, okay? I'm a very, very nice person. I'm very, very, very chill. I have definitely um, a past. We all do, right? One, it's not going to continue to be used against me, right? Because if nobody else wants their past to be held against them, right, they're going to do better or whatever, like stay in their lane. Like I'm not even being like arrogant. I'm not being rude. I'm not even like being out of pocket. Okay. So, it is absolutely like we all make conscious choices, right? Conscious choices. The conscious choices that were taken against me, I'll just speak in my story, right? People want to get upset, when the law, goes, goes overboard and, disrespects them or touches them, right? People want to get upset because of healthcare. People want to get upset because, they got bum rushed or whatever the case may be, right? They would want to defend themselves, right? They would want to get their lick back. They would want to feel entitled to, like, somebody punches you in the face, you're gonna respond to that, right? Somebody hits your grandmother, you're gonna respond to that, whatever the case might be, right? Somebody steals your bag or whatever, you're gonna try to respond to that, right? So here's the thing, I am not saintless, okay? The difference in this scenario, right, is that I'm not any type of lane, I'm not playing type of game, right? I'm not in a game. I'm not like, so here's the thing. All right. So respectfully, not respectfully, like, I think that it is, I mean, it's absolutely like, come on. Like, first of all, I personally, like, if there's an issue with me, like, speaking on anything, let's keep in mind, I'm actually just like doing, I'm literally just existing, and I'm literally, I'm not going to sit here and like not speak on the fact that, like, I know I've been abused. I know I've been bullied. I know that, like, I don't deserve the way that I've been treated. And I also I'm not blind, right? So do other people want to be stalked and followed? Do other people want to, like, experience what they're intentionally doing to me? For what reason? Like, no, that's not okay. There's no, like, you want to have a protest for something? How about not protesting, treating people that are not in your way like shit? Okay. I'm not personally speaking, sort of, whatever. I'm like, anything that, let's say somebody could speak on, why would they have anything to speak on in the first place? And second of all, I don't stand in agreement to it anymore. Okay. Like, I've processed every single outcome, right? If I do something like that's, in defense of myself or whatever, I'm going to stand on it, but I'm not actually provoking, antagonizing anybody. I've been abused since I was a child. Okay. I have actually been stolen from. I have actually had my innocence stolen from me. I've had my finances stolen from me. I've had my social, like, support, like, all of that stolen from me, right? I'm not seeking to go and, like, bomb up the world that has, like, a quote unquote offended or, like, done anything towards me, right? I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not breaking any contract. I'm not doing any of that. And honestly, I'm telling you, you don't have to believe whatever you believe, whatever belief system you have, or it's not even about that. Like, it's right is right, is wrong is wrong. I better not see somebody at a protest, right, talking about, oh yeah, I believe in this and fuck racism and fuck this and fuck that, and, like, literally continue to, like, treat myself, right, this person, like, the way I've been treated, everyone knows, right? It's not a secret, right? I'm not dumb, okay? You want to come across and, oh, what's up, like, come on. I'm not. Okay. If whatever conscious choices were made to, physically abuse someone, sexually, like, electronically, whatever the case may be, right? I'm not calling it a specific out. People know what they've done wrong. So whether that comes out, whether it comes out spiritually, comes out, socially, like, I'm not the one exposing it. So I'm not the one to be upset with. Okay. Talk to your higher power about it. Talk to your neighbors about it. Talk to whoever, because at the same point, like, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my life, and I am not the one anymore. I'm not. Okay, I don't deserve to be treated the way I was treated. In fact, I don't deserve to be treated the way I'm treated now, right? In the simple fact that I'm trying to move on with my life, right? And other people want to have the audacity to feel like it's okay to continuously, relentlessly come for me. And like, you did what you did. Like, I have nothing to do with that. I'm literally moving on with my life. I'm literally pushing forward. I'm taking scraps, right? I'm not the one. I'm not the one, right? So it's obvious that there's a bigger like essence going on, whether it's not, I mean, I'm gonna try to be a zealot or like talk about God. No, like, you want to sit here and fight for this right and that right? How about fight for a child that was actually abused their whole entire freaking life, and then have to walk around and know that every single person beside them know exactly how they've been treated, and still proceed to treat them that way? No, I'm not gonna do it. Because if it was your daughter, if it was your sister, if it was your aunt, right, would you be cool with that? No. And that's the thing, I'm not even actually like trying to, like, I'm not jumping up on anybody. I'm not starting my own protest. I'm not doing any of that. Okay, and it's very clear. Like, my peripherals are so clear. Like, whatever. Like, there's no slickness. There's no slickness at all to it. Okay, there's just no slickness. So I would just suggest, if whoever like has any current like issues that they're dealing with as far as karma or, you know, whatever like they might be facing, I would say, like, legitimately just pausing would be a good idea, because you're only racking up more damage. So playing the tape through, if it has to, like, we played all the tape through. I played every single, all I'm wanting is peace. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm not trying to be a corporation. I'm not trying to be a CEO. I'm not trying to be anything. In fact, the best thing I could do for myself is actually get up on here and actually just, like, not just continue to get beat up and like speak on the feelings that I'm feeling, right? Because that's all I'm doing. Okay, if I were to be, you know, a threat or any sort of like real big deal to anybody, I probably could. So I really think that, like, it's not like nobody's slick at all. Like, the energy, I pick up the energy before they even come down the street, first of all. And also, I think about if it was your child, think about if it was your sister, think about if it was your lover. Like, I'm not, no. And nobody else that, like, the bigger bullies don't stand for it either. So, like, just chill. Like, if you did something, you know, whatever towards me, no, I'm not the one trying to collect on that. So whatever conscience you have or whatever, like, you're trying to avoid, and consequently, like, that's on you. That's with God. That's what you're, you know, Allah, Buddha. That's with anything that you believe. If you're atheist, it doesn't matter. It's still, like, you know, right or wrong, whatever. I'm not the one. So you don't be upset with me personally, or whoever else that the people have been affected by some BS, right? It's all right. It's easy enough to just like fall back and maybe not even say find another target. I'm not even saying change your whole freaking life around. But in this scenario, I'm fed up. I am fed up. Okay, lovingly, respectfully. Okay, Karens, Carmisha, Carls, Carmelos. Okay, like, whatever was, you know, benefited socially. Like, do you think it's okay to like continue? Like, I'm not Jesus Christ, but it damn sure seems like there's like a similarity going on here. Okay, he has a little bit more like blessed. That's my best friend, mentor, but like at the same time, I'm not forcing anything on anybody to believe anything or anything. I was brought into the chat. I was brought out of hibernation, right? Because why would I continue to now be aware, like, last one to find out what I've been going through my whole life, right? I would be grateful that I'm not the one. I'm not the one, you know, sitting here like, you know, pumping my chest up. So for people to sit there and pump their chest up and act like I owe them something, or I actually owe an explanation, or I actually like, I'm just going past, I'm loving others, I'm trying to love myself, I'm staying in my lane. It's not okay anymore. Come on, man. Like, it's not okay, whether it be like physically, spiritually, financially, energetically. Like, I would just really say, like, others want to crash out on me. It's not okay. All right, I've had enough. It's been a long enough. Okay, and it's not like there's no like, energy speaks for itself before it enters my peripherals or anyone else's peripherals that has eyes to see or ears to hear. Okay, so it's really just like, it's audacious at this point. Okay, and so no, It's very clear who has betrayed me. It is very clear who has watched me sit there and be abused, violated, right? I'm not holding anything against anybody personally, because I do know that the best thing that came through all of this experience is learning to love myself, learning to be okay with myself. I'm not trying to chase validation. I'm not trying to be the center of attention. I'm not trying to be twerking at the party. Like, all of that is null and void. I am okay with myself, but I still have to function and live in the world. I still have to go to the grocery store. I still have to, I still get to create, right? I get discernment, right? The reason why I'm not hiding or in solitude, I'm not gonna have intimate relationships, friendships with anybody. That is self-harm in itself. I might be kind, I might be cordial, but no, why would I trust the whole entire population and not look sideways? That was the biggest mistake of my life. So no, but respect and love and have compassionate interaction, absolutely. We all literally have our own walks. We all have our own traumas. We all have our own things. But there gets to a point, would you defend yourself? Think about yourself. Think about your personal self, right? Think about whatever cause you think you're standing for. Think about your family, whatever you come from, whatever, right? You would want to love on yourself and choose yourself, right? You would choose yourself. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'm ugly, I'm arrogant, I have, I need to lose weight, or, I don't deserve to have protection, safety, love, or there's so much hate towards me. And I don't think it's towards me. I think it's just the evil that lives inside, or whoever or what, but it's literally return to sender. Every intention or every thought towards me, I'm disgusting or whatever, I'm not out here. There's way more disgustingness than me. Literally, there's way more grimy than me. And honestly, I've learned enough to be any of those things. I could be grimy. I could literally be all of those things. I could literally probably do a lot of different trades and options, right? If I put my mind to it, or if I really felt that vengeful or whatever. I'm not doing that. And that's just not me. So I would just really encourage, I'm not suggesting go pick on somebody else, because that's not a good idea either, especially in these times. We're going through really, really, really hard times, all of us. So you're gonna sit there and continue to poke a bear and spend your time continuing to beat on somebody you've already literally taken everything from. I have nothing left to lose. I have nothing left to lose. There's nothing left to lose. Everything to gain. So me trying to build and actually have, some sense of peace, some sense of mind. I'm chilling. I'm in my own lane. It's absolutely not okay. Okay. Friends from, fellowships, friends from, people that I thought were mentors, family, friends, whatever. I'm not the one. Remember, I'm the last one to be in tune with what has gone on in my own life. All right. And for me to be the last one to actually care less, I would consider that a blessing, to be honest with you. Anything I've done, I've owned it. I've paid my dues, right? Paid my full dues. And so that's where it's at. And if I have to play the tape through on how to make sure I take care of myself, I've played those tapes through, because I do deserve love. I do deserve to care for myself at some point in my life, right? Before I close my eyes, right? Before anybody tries to close my eyes. That's the thing. I'm not tripping. I'm a better of an ally than an enemy. I am better of an ally than an enemy. I'm a better as maybe even just a chill, leave me alone. Maybe just chill, leave me alone. Okay? Put yourself in a 5-year-old's body and think about that. Put yourself in a, continuous state of intentional vulnerability, homelessness, sexual violation. Bro, the more that the antics continue, the more that it's it actually is, it's actually not okay. It's actually not okay. And actually, I do have a story to tell if that was the case. I'm literally into poetry, whatever. I don't understand. Okay? I don't understand. It's the program is very clear, right? I'm grateful for the love and support that I do. I am grateful that I don't have to have real intimate relationships for other human beings to be decent enough to see see someone that really is a good soul. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm literally not out here stepping on toes. I'm literally not out here. I'm actually not even stepping on the toes that stepped on my toes intentionally. I'm just not. So it's not okay. It's not okay. There's no, you don't earn, you don't get to get a lick back on somebody's not getting a lick on you. Like, I would have every reason to at this point. All the things that I've come to understand and find out. Come on, bro. You wouldn't let your little sister go through that. You wouldn't let your auntie go through that or whatever. So no, God is my protector. The only one that really has been there for me. And I'm not saying that to be religious or loving or, a zealot or whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not. You can believe what you want to believe, whatever. The fact of the matter is that, yeah, I'm a little black girl, nobody cares. Like, even my own family doesn't care. My child hates me, like, I've been ran through, right? And not necessarily always intentionally, right? We all had our promiscuous stages in life, right? Because we're looking for love, or we're looking for attention, or we think that, attention is love, and it's not, right? Sitting there trying to continue to sabotage every single thing in my life. You could have just asked me for help. You could have just, we could have been collaborated together. I'm the wrong personality type to go out of the way to do all this to. I'm the wrong personality. I'm the wrong character. Okay. And so I'm sorry that you're not getting, I'm not going to continue to bend over and get, sodomized spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, emotionally. I'm just not. But I do know this, that if I continue, it's just one before, miles before even any entity tries to come in my peripherals, or even if you're spiritually in tune, whatever that belief, you will know that when you're in tune and aware, because this shifted me. All of this trauma and tragedy and violation actually is your fault, because it shifted me into awakening. It shifted me into loving isolation. It's not isolation, it's solitude, right? I love it. I'm not lonely. In fact, and I'm not bitter, and I'm not jaded, and I actually can look people in the face, and I come from a good heart space, and I can be able to create. I'm able to see through people's intentions and not take it personally, right? And navigate myself away from it. All right, I'm not the one anymore. Okay. If we can I'm just not, okay? And I'm not saying that because I'm not a bully and I'm not an antagonistic person, but I'm going to respond. Okay, so one, I'm not little, tactics and stuff, it's exposed. No, you don't get to keep violating somebody and violating them and then avoid the consequence, whether it be spiritually from God. You cannot avoid karma. You cannot avoid it. Look it up. You cannot avoid it. Just you do something, you crash a car, you go to jail. You cannot avoid that. Whatever you might run, you might change car, whatever. And I'm not going to law. I'm not doing any of that, first of all. So you go to the grocery store and you burn it up. There's a thing, just bro, whatever angle you're coming from towards me, just stop. Okay. It's not okay. I'm not a threat to any corporation or whatever you think. I'm individually, single-handedly, I'm talking to, who, just by existing, you don't even know me, and you never stop to get to, and you actually don't even know the fact that if you may have known me in high school, all right, you judge me based off that. You may have known me when I was 5. You may have thought it's okay to just sign somebody up for a complete degradation, shame, humiliation, and you think that it's okay, and that at some point that's going to be their outcome. It's not going to be my outcome. I don't stand in agreement, even to this day. If today was the day, I don't stand in agreement with being treated like this. I don't stand in agreement. God doesn't stand in agreement. The society, that sees somebody that actually is a kind person, generous, whatever. I'm not speaking on who I am on myself, right? Because I'm not going to say I would say I'm pretty humble. I don't really boast or anything like that, because I don't need to and I don't want to, right? I only want to be around a select group of people that I know their hearts, because I'm very, 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 very in tune. If I feel solid, I will continue. I will give, I'll open up my heart. I'm not resentful. I'm not paranoid. I'm not confused. I'm not any of those things. And I'm not to be played with anymore. I am not, because you know what? It could be today. It could be tomorrow. It could be the next day. I'm not. No, I will be super kind, loving, loyal, cuddly, all of the things, but also know that I have a very specific, calculated side that is just not okay with continuing to be treated like trash. okay? I could start a group chat, I could start a movement, but I'm not doing that. And I'm very, very clear when people come across my path. Very clear, okay? So at the same time, I would just steer clear of trying to continue to come towards me, come towards, you know, the things that I'm just working towards: peace of mind, love, health, safety, you know, well-being, food in my mouth, you know, genuine relationships. And I actually return to sender and expose every single bad intention towards me, towards my soul tribe, towards my you know, future partner. If I, you know, even if I have one, I'm not seeking one. That's the thing. I'm not sitting here seeking to be chosen by any man. In fact, I've gotten to the point where I'm okay, right? So I'm not saying, oh, I don't want that. No, I absolutely want to learn how to love, be loved, give love, right, in a healthy manner. Not even just a romantic partner, my life-term partner, whoever that God assigns to that. That's who I feel like is where I'm supposed to be. Other than that, I don't want to be anywhere else. I don't want to be anywhere else. And I'm not going to manipulate it. I'm not going to go on a dating site. I'm not going to go try to OnlyFans it. I'm not doing any of that. So I really would say that if people want to keep coming for me single-handedly, right? You don't deserve to keep coming for me, first of all. You are exposed on site, right? And I have every right to love on myself and stand up for my own self. Okay, don't sit here and do all these protests and these freaking movements and you know, trends and stuff like that, and you literally have a whole human being sitting there like doing the best, scraping by in their life, being humiliated as they walk down the street and lied to by every single person they've ever come in contact with, and think that like somebody's not going to notice it. And if it's the man upstairs and the ancestors that are absolutely here rising up, like, don't talk about Black Lives Matter. Don't talk about, you know, Democrat, but don't talk about any of that. If you see someone literally being demolished in every single way across their whole entire life that literally has done nothing to deserve it, okay? Nothing. Okay? Nothing. All right? Okay? All right. And just try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes for once. Okay? Just try to do that. Maybe somebody that you actually care about, okay? Somebody that you actually care about, if you can. Because it's probably the people that are probably, you know, actually like continuously, relentlessly treating others like myself this way actually can't care about somebody else. They can't. They can only care about who they selectively care about. What kind of character is that? Tell me. Oh, I'll wait. Okay. So no. And it's not to be arrogant. This is not to be, you know, I'm not an antagonistic person, but like, I was brought into this chat. The chats that I knew nothing about. The chats that I was, you know, sitting in groups and sitting in, you know, dinner tables and going to cookouts with the very individuals that were stabbing me in the back, trying to poison me with either words or maybe other things and food and, you know, like, you know, gossip and slander. Oh my God, the things I just learned about what was said about me and like where and what, like, it's overwhelming. But I'm actually glad because I can laugh about it. You didn't like, in fact, you helped me to know like solitude is much better, not isolation. But I'm not going to be jaded. I'm not paranoid. I'm not tripping. You know what I mean? Like, I'm whole within myself. But also there's other individuals that I choose. I will have community. I will have friendships. And I will have love. And I have boundaries and discernment. Right? And I do know that like I'm deserving to stand up and protect myself at all costs. I am protected spiritually. I'm grateful for that. And there's nothing more that can be given to me than knowing and understanding that at least I, through all of this, whether the world nurtured or loved or accepted me, that I know for a fact that I was loved genuinely, even if it's unseen. And that's the thing. That unseen being, power, whatever you want to call it, has literally put me in a place to where I'm okay with or without physical protection, love, or understanding. And guess what? It shifted me into a place to actually have that in the real 3D world, whether others wanted that for me or not. Okay, so you're not in charge of the outcome. You might be in charge of the effort, the action, but you're not in charge of the outcome, and you're not in charge of my response, and you're absolutely not the judge, jury, and executioner in my life or anybody else's, because you can also have a judge, jury, and executioner if you think about it like that, especially when your actions are not warranted and you have to be, you know, choose what side you're going to be on as well. Okay, so I love you all. I want to say a prayer, like manifest prayer in every single aspect for the beautiful, like real, honest, like just people that like are good humans, and like, you know, they're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're not sinless. We got vices. We got fetishes. We got all the things. Nobody's sitting there looking at that. Okay, but in my case, like, I don't know what you do in your day-to-day life, but in my journey, and like people that I love and that I respect, it's not going to be a thing anymore. It's not going to be a thing. Take your little actions and you're targeting somewhere else. Okay, because this little, yeah. Oh, just hello. Oh, that's a cute hat. That's a cute hat. Yeah, you're. I just want to figure out, like, if everyone could take the long list of what they, you know, they've obviously watched someone else endure. One, how would you feel if that was you? How would you respond? Would you just wither away? How would you respond? How would you respond? You know? So, and if I had the nerve, if I was made up, like, my character was about being arrogant, or I think I'm too good and this and that, my attitude would be a whole lot different. I'm not. So, like, you know, the things that I understand that were being done to me, like, okay, my phone's being hacked, right? Tampered with. Girls that I thought were my friends actually sleeping behind my back with my, you know, boyfriends and lovers or whatever. I don't care about that because I don't want them. I don't want them. I don't need them. And I have absolutely no desire in any way. Now that I know people's true characters, I don't want any people from my past in my life. Not one. And I actually don't, like, wish harm. I really don't. But I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not avoiding you. I've made it clear before I blocked any single person, right? I'm not seeking to get revenge. I'm not seeking to, you know, follow you or do whatever was done to me. I just don't want any contact with you. And that's my boundary. That's my spiritual, energetic, physical boundary. Okay? You were not good to me in front of my face or behind my back or whichever one. Okay? So I don't have to point it out. People know with their own conscience how they treat people, who they cheated on, who they stole from. Like, you know all that. I don't... You know, again, I'm the last one to come to terms or really be aware. And I still don't really even know most, but I just know this, like, continuing to sabotage me in every way. And me, like, the things that I have actually learned, right? I want what I can't ever get my innocence back, right? But I have healed, right? I have healed to the space where no one's going to violate me in any other way in that shape or form, okay? Or any, you know, there's not gonna be, we're in a time period, right, where things are balancing out, so we can, like, fix, you know, what we got going on. And the thing is, I'm sure that the ways whoever I've been violated with know more about how I've been violated than I do, and I'm not even sitting here trying to go down the list, okay? So yeah. I could literally grab a picket sign or whatever, probably, and walk down the street or set up a booth or probably, you know, make a podcast or whatever. I'm not doing any of that. All right. So, yeah. The Karens, the racist, whatever I was going through, I'm not tripping on that either. I don't care. I don't care what you think about me anymore. You've actually stripped someone so far from their self-esteem, their self-worth, right? To where it doesn't matter what society thinks, but I'm still going to be a good person. I'm still going to show people love. I'm still going to show respect when it's given, okay? I'm not even going to be disrespectful when it's disrespected, but I'm going to respond, right? Because I understand discernment and I understand how to navigate. I'm not going to continue to be disrespected and shitting on when I'm not giving that same energy out. I'm just not, okay? So it's just not a thing. And so I'm going to continue to show love. I'm going to continue to be kind. I'm going to continue to, you know, walk in my lane, stay in my lane, right? I'm not going to be like whoever is hurt or seeking to hurt me. I'm not. But I'm also still not to be played with at this point in time, right? Because there's sides, right? And it's exposed when that side needs to come out immediately. There's no confusion anymore. Okay? Spirit has already clarified specific time frames, individuals, and scenarios who's not to be ever let into my field again. And that's 99.9% of individuals. And guess what? 85% probably moving forward are only going to be associates, are only going to be collaborators. Like that's how it's supposed to be, right? Nobody taught me how to navigate the world in a safe manner, right? To where I wasn't in that space. It's cool. I'm learning through true, genuine individuals, and then also my higher power. So I'm not tripping on that. I don't think it's okay. And I don't really I'm not seeking a validation. I'm not seeking a brownie point. I'm not seeking, you don't have to understand. What's understood doesn't have to be explained. Okay. The audacity and the boldness, to continue to, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure that the individuals that were in my life can look back and see that, I didn't deserve to be treated that way. If they have a heart, if they actually have done work, any sort of work on themselves, if they actually have any sort of loyalty or any sort of compassion in their lives, or don't have, some sneaky, conniving, grimy behavior or intentions underneath the core, right? Because it's on site, it's very clear before it is even approached. It just is. There's people that have really good lifestyles that don't treat people like that. There's people that have absolutely, no monetary value that aren't treating people like this. Okay. So it's not a status thing. It's not a class thing. It's not a race thing. It's literally don't be a freaking, okay. Fit whatever word you want to put in there. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, no, I'm not giving you the satisfaction because I actually am not miserable. I'm not paranoid. I'm not depressed. I'm sober as a bird, and I'm happier than I've ever been on anything. Also, I'm happy I'm happy not being in a relationship that is not meant for me to be in, and I'm not trying to force myself into one. And I haven't been on a dating site in years. First of all, I don't have an OnlyFans. I've never had an OnlyFans. First of all, let's see. I don't have a back page. I don't have a Craigslist, any of that. I actually, I don't rob, kill, and steal from people, right? I'm not, if I had to borrow some dollars, right? I've always paid it back. I've always paid any money that I've ever borrowed back. I paid it forward, or I was told, no, don't worry about it, right? And I pay it forward. I'm not a stingy person, and I'm also try not to be a very needy person. But anytime I've ever needed anything from people that were actually so close to me, I was treated like an absolute burden. I was treated like an absolute leper, okay? And talked about when I ever needed anything. So guess what? I've gotten to the point where I will literally be on my last drop of saliva before I actually ask somebody to do anything for me, right? And when I'm not able to do for myself, at this point, I'm not trying to be in a depressive state because that's not productive, but it's also very uncomfortable knowing that I actually am capable of doing a lot more, and I have to now rebuild myself emotionally, spiritually, and employment wise to build myself back up over and over again, right? So yeah, people want to get upset for things that they didn't even earn, and then they didn't even or whatever. Some of us should be really upset about things that were taken from us that can't ever get it back. All right. So I love you all. I love my soul tribe. I love everybody that just isn't trying to crap on people and just not be evil, egotistical, vampire, or whatever, mostly a lot of this jealousy, it comes from a lot of women and wherever they come from, family, high school friends. I don't care. Okay. I don't understand how everybody gets to speak on me and all these group chats and all these forums and all these platforms, and actually the only one that actually speaks the less about it, and when the time she actually speaks up, it's a problem. Are you kidding me? You absolutely, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I better not see none of these people at a pulpit, in church, at the freaking recovery, anything. Because, check yourself, check your motives, So, yeah, respectfully, not respectfully, I'm pretty sure that I'm handling myself with much more restraint and tact than anybody that continues to relentlessly cross my boundaries. Continuously, actually, your ripple effect is showing how much you care about your neighbor, care about the person that lives in your building, the care about the person. Like, if you can do the things that were done to me, right, have no remorse, continuously be relentless about it, right? What would you do to your coworker? What would you do to the person that you hired? What would you do to your own husband, wife, girlfriend, right? So you're only exposing yourself more and further. Keep in mind, I didn't expose any of these things. I still don't even know half the things that I'm even suffering or experiencing, or not suffering. I'm not suffering from anything. I don't even need to know anything further. I got more than enough clarity when I prayed for discernment and asked for God to really help me to not repeat the same cycles and remove whoever was not good for me. And that was the whole catalyst, right? So that removal, which they say, oh, you're hiding out, you're running from your problems. No, that was the best thing that I could have ever done, and followed God's direction, and it was all up from there. So I love you all, whatever, God bless, like, whatever. I'm very thankful that, regardless of me being okay and making peace with myself, with my higher power, with life, and just like healing some wounds that I didn't even know I had, and wounds that I just literally just wanted to like change so I could move forward, maybe have a stability for once. I actually can't even ever like seem to care for my kid in some way or another, whether I'm in this state of mind or not. I'm not crazy. I don't accept, whatever mental diagnosis that were put on me. I don't identify with them, because you know what? As soon as I was removed from certain people, places, and environments, guess what? My symptoms definitely subsided in a lot of areas. Okay, so I would like to know that anybody that wants to come towards me and try to challenge, try to project these narratives that do not apply to me anymore. It's not a good idea, especially because I'm not the only one that sees the narratives are false. The narratives are not based in reality, and I don't accept them, okay? I'm still being loving, I'm still being kind, I'm still being patient, I'm still being humble, I'm still in my own lane. But the more that the antics continue, and I continue to be aware of them, right? Whatever black magic, whatever pissed off, girlfriends, boyfriends, ex-lovers, like, I wish you never entered my life. I wish that I was absolutely never so loyal and connected to a lot of individuals, but it's actually the blessing in disguise. It's the blessing because God gave me the strength and the willpower and the courage to keep going, right? After multiple suicide attempts, multiple ODs, multiple everythings, right? Multiple times of facing the end, right? And the only thing that has obviously kept me going is that there's got to be a rainbow at the end of the storm. There's got to be, or there's got to be a purpose to it or something, even if it's not a purpose, like let me just get some sense of relief or something, So yeah, anybody that wants to act like they were my mentor or my teacher or whatever, and actually like lead me to my destruction, and actually like lead with jealousy and envy or whatever, like, this is why I've learned so much about how to I'm not closed off, but I'm absolutely more reserved and discerning. I absolutely might, like right now, like I'm being vulnerable, but I'm not oversharing. I'm not sharing details. I'm not sharing anything that's can be used against me in any single way, right? Because it doesn't matter what it is. If I say I had a tuna fish sandwich today, I'm pretty sure that would end up in a group chat somewhere about how disgusting I am because I ate a freaking tuna sandwich, right? Or with pita bread or whatever. So why would anybody at this point care? Doesn't matter if I'm doing well or if I'm not doing well. I only will engage ever with individuals that don't make me squeal or scream in my body or know like the glaring red flags any further. I'm not confused about it. I'm not going to ever second guess it. I'm not going to take the chance to second guess it, first of all. Doesn't make me bitter, doesn't make me definitely paranoid is when it's like not based in reality. Okay, I have so much love for the artists that I listen to specifically, and I come across, because their pain is what it channels, like I can relate to it. Right now that I'm coming across individuals like by proxy of like, I love the fact that I can engage with other human beings. I love that I'm not the only one that has experienced a lot of these things, and I'm not like trying to lead any sort of movement or anything of the sort. But I also know that nobody else also deserves to be, in that category, whatever color they might be, whatever orientation, whatever, any of that, whatever. And I'm not trying to be Dr. Martin Luther King or Jesus or, none of these individuals. Like, I didn't sign up to be one, like, popular loner or whatever. Like, I didn't create these situations. So it is what it is. I mean, none of us are entitled, to, we all have choices, and we all like kind of like set up our own pathway. But I really didn't get an opportunity to do that. I really didn't get an opportunity to decide, many of my choices actually. But I do now. Okay. And I would like for those to be moved forward and just like being more of an asset despite all of the liabilities and tragedies that I faced, right? Being more of, and not even being perfect, like I said, let's lean towards being more of an asset and less of a liability, right? Because it is a ripple effect, right? You're going to treat someone in your own community or your own bloodline, your own whatever. How would you stand for anything else in that characteristic, So anyway, I want to thank all of my haters. I want to thank all of the Karens, all of the Beckys, all of the ex-boyfriends that have been stalking me forever, and their friends that are stalking me, and their friends that are stalking me. I want to thank all of the gang stalkers. I want to thank all of the family that I really deeply loved and look up to that really actually never loved me, never liked me. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not tripping. I don't feel lonely. I don't feel as hurt as I did. I just felt confused a lot of the time and like disillusioned. And I also am grateful that like I'm really not self-destructing with substances, which I struggled with a long time, or also in a state of mind where I really am not operating out of a space of sanity or like, fear and paranoia and schizzy and, ditzy or whatever it might be. I have a lot of humiliating pictures that have been spread about me, rumors, gossip. Like, it's hard. Like, I would like to see somebody walk down, go to school, go to the grocery store, and literally have eyes on you everywhere. And most of the eyes are in disgust, or they're in shame, or they're in like looking at you as if like, you're a piece of poop on somebody's shoe, And really, you're not a piece of poop. Like, really, you're like actually a good person. Really, you're actually like, you might not be like, supermodel porn star or whatever, but you're actually not like an ugly person. I don't think anybody's ugly, but like to actually like drag someone for their looks and like you look like freaking hippopotamus, that's probably not a good idea. Like, who are you? So like, I would never, even the most prettiest person should not sit there and like tag team or like highlight somebody else's flaws or whatever, for the simple, like, that's not cool. And if that's the case, stay away from individuals like myself, because we're not like operating on the same frequency. We're just not. And so no, people, if I continue to grow, move forward, I would have been a great ally to share my resources, to share my love. And obviously I was, because I'm sure, and I hope that other individuals that don't and won't ever have me in their life again understand that that cord is absolutely cut. Thank you for the time, the lessons and experience. I hope that all of our experience was not so terrible. I know that looking back, it was absolutely unnecessary, undeserved, and painful. And I will not allow those cycles to continue to repeat. Okay. But I'm not jaded. I'm not bitter. I'm not scorned. I don't feel ugly. I don't feel, like a leper of society. I feel very conscious about where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do, regardless of what other people want or don't want for me. Right? Because I'm not putting out bad energy or bad motives or intentions. I'm just not. I'm not an angel. And in fact, my dark side is absolutely the opposite of an angel. And I don't like the fact that, people keep kind of like pressing and poking the bear. If you look around, like it's absolutely pretty evident that like, it's just not a good idea to continue to do that. Okay. I'm pretty clear on all of the friends, right, that have screwed me over, whether it be financially, physically, set me up or whatever. Cool, whatever. Okay, cool. How about, would you guys like really like, do you want me to like, listen, honeys, you got everything. You turned my kid against me. You turned the whole society against me. You literally like, turned every lover that I ever might have even possibly been interested in me on a deeper level, or even just not trying to violate my body level. Cool, whatever. All of those intentions, all of those actions are immediately returned to sender 144,000 times in the name of Jesus. And I honestly don't have any interest in like, I have no empathy. I have no understanding. I don't care. Like, I'm disillusioned and detached from it because I don't deserve it, and neither do other individuals that have been treated like that. Aww. So yeah, I could go on and on and on. I could start a group chat. I could start a forum. I could start a, a tag post or whatever, but I'm not doing that. So I would just say like, I'm not out of pocket. I'm not the one out of pocket in any single sense of it, right? So, yeah, I'm not sleeping with anybody's husband, not trying to. In fact, if anybody's in love with me or wants to be, and you are, that's not a problem. That's not my problem. It's not my problem. Any, friends are upset because they either think I'm too ugly to have friends, or I'm too pretty, or think I'm too good to have anything. I don't know. Who do you like? You're not the judge. You're not the jury. You're not the executioner. You're not my source of validation. You're not my source of protection. You're not my source of anything other than absolutely tearing me down, stressing me out, confusing me, taking from me in every single way, sabotaging me financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And it's always been the people closest to me. I actually have had strangers be more loyal, genuine, and honest, and like real, and like compassionate, or like actually like good human beings, whatever race they might be, whatever politics, whatever dynamic, okay, whatever religion, whatever like culture, whatever position they hold or don't hold. So it's not a relational thing. It's like literally, I've been surrounded by nothing but narcissists. I've been surrounded by nothing but jealous women. I've been surrounded by nothing but men that don't really even like women. I've been surrounded by people that don't take accountability for their actions. Okay, it's cool. Everybody has a dynamic that they live in, lifestyle. Cool. No, hey, that's respect. But they also have morals and character. And I don't care if you don't, but just don't come around me with that anymore. Because it's already seen, it's exposed on site, and I'm not dealing with it anymore, okay? I don't deserve it, and neither do the other individuals at all, right? But maybe keep that in the cesspool together, okay? All right, yeah, I got missing teeth, I'm fat, right? I'm just, Jezebel, or, I don't have money, I'm broke, mentally ill, blah, 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 whatever. Like, whatever you have to say, understand that it doesn't stand anymore. And it's your turn. It's not my turn anymore. It's not our turn. I love my future. I love my future, partner. I love my future family. I love my current, few selected, soul tribe, or, people that I come across, even if we're not like in close relationships. I've seen people's souls, and I'm very grateful to see them and their stories and their path. Cool, whatever. I pray for everybody, but I'm not praying, against anybody, but I'm not praying for anybody, and I don't have empathy, I don't have forgiveness, I don't have understanding, I don't have anything, okay? But I could, people want to have vengeance and do all that, cool, everybody has that entitlement. I just know I'm not in that space. I'm going to continue to laugh, I'm going to continue to try to grow, move forward in my life. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to even retrieve anything, including my innocence, my sanity, my self-esteem back, because all of the things that was taken from me are already back. And the biggest blessing of it all is to have wholeness within myself, and to feel safe, and to feel not arrogant, not cocky or bougie. Literally, that is the biggest blessing of it all. You cannot buy that after it's been the only thing stripped from you, okay? And I intend to just spread that to people as I go along, okay, as best I can. And actually just be around individuals that just don't really take away from that, okay? So I really do love everyone. I just, hope that everything works out. Love, blessings, guidance, support for those that, reciprocate that. I'm not going to pour and invest in others that, are that give me the heebie-jeebies in my body, you know what I mean? But I'm also not gonna just close myself off to new opportunities and connections and things, So I'm grateful that all of this has really pushed me into discernment, pushed me into gratitude, intense gratitude. Because you can have, it's oh, you're grateful. Yeah, you would be grateful too if you would be grateful too. In fact, if you're not grateful, that's probably why you're acting like an asshole.